Hi guys, in today's video we're going to have a look at Zomedica, so looking at how the company's been performing lately, and also going to look at the price, so looking at where the price currently is and where I believe it's going to go to. So if this is the kind of content that you like, or you like the content that I put out on my channel, then make sure you guys subscribe and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further uploads. So from the chart, they've got the earnings coming up on the 11th of August, actually today, but this has not been confirmed because if you have a look at the NASDAQ website, they've got ZOM earnings dates. The earnings announcement for ZOM is 9th of August. So I'm not really sure if they're going to put out any earnings this time around or if they're going to wait till the next quarterly before they put out any earnings. But looking at the last earnings, they did worse than they were expected. But we'll go into detail in terms of the earnings later on in this video. On a technical note, the price is broken below this 200 period moving average. So in the long term, technically speaking, the trend is going to be bearish, or it's looking like it's going to be bearish. So the price could fall a little bit further for some time before recovering. Whenever the price breaks below the moving average or breaks above the moving average, it always deviates away from the moving average, but it eventually reverts back to the mean, and the mean being the moving average. So although the price may move far away from the 200 period moving average to the bearish side, but it's very likely that the price is going to pretty much recover and test the 200 moving average. Basically, the bulls are going to try and test that because right now it's serving as a dynamic resistance. So the bulls are going to try and test that to see if the resistance is going to hold, and then if they can break it above the 200 moving average. So up until December 2020, the price had pretty much been below the 200 moving average. So it'd been bearish, and the minute the price broke above the 200 moving average, it pretty much just took off from there, went from 15 cents all the way up to $3. So if the price recovers and breaks above that 200 moving average, we're very likely to see the same kind of movement in Zomedica share price. So looking at the RSI, the price has been oversold for a while. So the price dipped below the 30 on the RSI and the bulls brought the price back above it. But it's really just been hanging around the 30 region of the RSI, which means that it's oversold on the daily chart. One or two things could happen from here. So the first one is that the price being oversold, a lot of buyers may see this and actually start getting in on the market on a technical note, start getting in and believing that the price is going to recover, especially seeing as the price has deviated some bit away from the 200 moving average. So the buyers might try to bring the price back up, test the 200 moving average. And if they do this, they're likely to do it with a lot of momentum that they're going to try and break the 200 period moving average. And the second thing that could happen is that, look, the price could actually just continue bouncing up and down around the 30, or it could go up to 40. So basically the price could head up to around 50 on the RSI. So essentially just heading up maybe to test this resistance at 67 cents. And then if it does this, then the price can literally just plummet all the way down. And the reason this could happen is that the price could pretty much head up to the 50 and create a lot of space for it to move, so that way when it moves, it essentially breaks this support at 57 cents. So right now it's just a waiting game to see what the price does. So if we look at the monthly chart, so looking at long term, the price has pretty much been bearish, as you can see. Even on the daily chart you can see that. So the RSI right now is roughly around 50, which means that the bears have got a lot of way to go before this is essentially oversold on the monthly chart. So it's likely we're going to see the latter of the two examples. So the latter being the price is just going to hang around on the daily chart. The price is just going to hang around the 30 or maybe even move up to the 50 on the RSI and actually break that support. So basically driving this price down on the monthly chart to effectively test the 30 or to make this oversold. So right now on the technical note, it's just a matter of a waiting game to see if the price gets back towards that 200 period moving average and then breaks above it, or if the price just continues falling for the next couple of months. So looking at Zomedica fundamentally, they had a filing on the 30th of July. So this filing was an 8K report. So an 8K report is just a supplementary report that the company would file to let the shareholders know, look, this is what we're planning on doing. This is what's going on to the business. This is if we're going to restructuring to do, this is happening. If there's a shareholders vote meeting, this is when it's scheduled for, etc. So 8K reports are really just supplementary, like I mentioned, supplementary information just to keep the shareholders aware of what's going on. So the 8K filing was just a shareholders meeting so that they can vote on the board of directors and pretty much the auditors, the corporation auditors. So on July 30th, 2021, Zomedica Corp held its annual virtual only meeting of the holders the shareholders of common shares of the corporation. The matters voted on at the annual meeting were the election of directors of the corporation and 2, the appointment of Grant Thornton LLP as the corporation's auditors and authorization for the directors to fix the auditors' remuneration. So the fact that the shareholders voted on the directors that they want to lead the company, this is good because at least the shareholders have an idea of the capabilities of the directors, and possibly new directors, fresh minds, etc. They can steer the company through their previous experiences or their current experience. They can steer the company to pretty much greater paths into profitability. And also voting on an auditing company, this is good because they can see the kind of extent that the audit company goes in terms of detail into looking at the books, etc., making sure that the company stays on the right path and the directors actually are checked in line. And lastly, we'll have a look at the quarterly earnings on the surface level on Yahoo Finance. And as you can see, the quarterly earnings have been doing better. I mean, they're still operating at a loss, but this loss has been decreasing. And I'd like to point you to Q1 of 2021. I mean, up until that point, they pretty much had no revenue, right? So they've had nothing that's been sold, etc. But with the TRUFORMA being commercialized, they're able to sell that platform. So the fact that they're able to sell it, they've now got a revenue of 14k. The revenue is still small, nevertheless they're now making revenue, so this could attract potential new investors into seeing, you know what, the company, they actually weren't selling anything before, they weren't making revenue, but now they're actually getting into that revenue state. And not only that, but their loss is actually decreasing quarter on quarter. So as a company, they're actually doing better in business wise, and also with the new directors that have been voted in, etc. There's a lot of potential for Zomedica in the future. Long-term hold, there's a lot of potential. But like always, make sure you guys do your background research, understand basically what you're getting yourself into if you're investing in Zomedica, or if you're already invested in Zomedica, understand how long you're looking to hold that investment for. If it's long-term, then this might benefit you the most. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys subscribe and of course hit that notification bell. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on Zomedica. Also give this video a thumbs up so I know this is the kind of content that you guys want to see, and then I can continue bringing out content, giving you guys regular updates on Zomedica. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video.